We had a World Cup, we had a World Championship, we had the world's largest arms, and we had the record-breaking ratings in the world. The return of Kevin Nash. It can only be one thing, and it is sacrifice. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. We sacrificed 3 hours of our life to watch this pay-per-view. Don't think it was among TNA's best, and I'm going to blame it on the World Cup. I'm going to blame it on a bunch of guys, a bunch of nations, just a bunch of X-Division jobbers that I did not care for. And not only did they get one match on this show, they got 2 matches.
Which is too many, alright? It should be 0. You said Kevin Nash. I think more like, gosh, this wasn't that good. I mean, honestly, he had a bunch of big matches. Too many tag matches, right? But I feel like by the time you got to the main event, it was like, yeah, but every big match was a tag match, literally. And then the other ones were just Diddy World Cup matches. TNA's has got a lot of stars at this point, but they're not utilising them for me. You look at Steiner, you look at Sting, you look at Jarrett, guys like that. I think they have been wasted so far this year, in 2006, feuding in a meaningless, like, what is the purpose? Like, originally Sting was being, like, stalked, and his family was being stalked, but it's turned into a game show piss take recently. It's like, when is Steiner going to go, you know what, Jeff, hang around with you's cool and all, but I want the world title. When's Jeff Jarrett going to go, you know what, I want a bit of Christian? When's Sting going to go, yeah, I've beat these guys, so it's time to move on? When's that going to happen?
When is it going to happen? I don't know, but we're going to move on to the opening match. It was Jushin Liger defeating Petey Williams in a World X Cup match. Now, I believe this was the last singles match of the World Cup, so, I mean, good riddance. Weird match to start the show. I had no interest in it, really, to be honest. Then we got America's Most Wanted versus Styles and Daniels for the tag titles. Pretty good match, 15.5 minutes. Yeah, I thought it was a very good match, actually, between the two teams. We got the police baton dropping from the ceiling. America's Most Wanted. Cheat. AJ gets whacked with the bat. James Storm crawls over, gets the cover. America's Most Wanted retain. Styles and Daniels leave empty-handed. But I liked it. I thought it was match of the night up until this point. Not that that's saying much because it's the second match.
Yeah, I thought this was match of the night, period. Spoiler alert. These guys know their way around a match. Styles, fantastic. And you know what? Chris Harris drops off, but America's Most Wanted, for me, honestly, I think just as good as Beer Money. I will go strong. I think they always deliver on their matches. Daniels, I don't really have much love for the guy, but he can work. So, for me, great match, very unique ending. Usually we see Sting up in the rafters, but it was Gail Kim.
Yeah, Gail Kim dropping down the baton, helping America's Most Wanted win. Will Daniels and Styles get a rematch? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Then we got Raven taking on A1 with Larry Sabisco. I mean, it was an okay match. Raven in the end hits A1 with the DDT. Basically, it was 4.5 minutes of A1 dominating. Raven hits the Raven effect, 1, 2, 3. We then got a brawl between Raven and Larry Sabisco. Larry Sabisco shirt got ripped. We got to see a little bit of the guns come out. And then Larry Sabisco literally tossed one of the referees halfway across the ring. And him and Raven tried to square off. Maybe we're going to get Sabisco in a match at this point. I'm not entirely sure. But I thought it's done its job. It was alright.
Yeah, the match itself wasn't particularly great, but I thought Larry Sabisco's involvement was, and I think Larry Sabisco's very good.
I like Larry.
Can't get enough Larry.
And I don't mean CM Punk's shitty looking dog, I mean Sabisco.
They look kind of similar, Larry, and this dog.
Yeah, I don't know. Up next, we've got Bobby Roode versus Rhino. This match lasted 12 minutes. Coach Demori was there at ringside. Coach Demori got involved, caused a distraction. Bobby Roode hits Rhino with the Canadian Lariat. I just don't really feel comfortable with somebody using a clothesline that isn't called JBL. I just think Bradshaw had a great clothesline. He literally hit it with force. He had big arms, big guy. Here, I'm not saying that Bobby Roode's a midget or anything like that, but I've just never seen anybody hit the clothesline as impressive as Bradshaw did. I mean, you got all these idiots out there, all these marks that say the Rainmaker's better than the clothesline from hell. It's like, fuck me. How? On what planet?
I mean, they're the same idiots that think Okada's worth $5 million a year. No, let's not talk about Okada. This is some good shit, even though it's mediocre. But I tell you what, damn it, the guy sucks. And this Northern Lights lariat, I think it's better than the Rainmaker, but that doesn't mean much. But
the match just, I don't know, 12 minutes. Just
I just think
throwaway match that I didn't even know was happening.
I think Team Canada have got too much influence on TNA.
I just don't know if this was necessary. 12-minute match between Rude and Rhino. I get it. They had a little bit of a confrontation on Impact, but this match I don't even know if it was announced for the pay-per-view, and we got it. So whatever. Did I have to go 12 minutes? Probably not. We then got the James gang. BG James and Kip James taking on Team 3D. Brother Ray, Brother Devon. Honestly, didn't think this match was going to be good, so I wasn't that disappointed. But yeah, for me, BJ James is a shit worker.
No, he is.
The Road Dogg is crap. And I don't need you to be a great worker. I don't care really. You know, as long as... But BJ James is not a guy that can put on decent matches.
He can. He never was. Never will be. I like the Road Dogg, but as we said in the previous TNA review, it's like, mate, you couldn't hold a flame to the Dudleys.
Road Dogg was at his best when he was in DX, and even then I always thought he was overrated.
No, he was.
But the best version of the Road Dogg was late 90s when he was in the New Age Outlaws.
Oh, you didn't know. No one can take that away from him.
And I always think he is massively overrated on the mic.
Yeah.
But for some reason he's considered one of the best mic workers. Oh, he would smoke The Rock, would he? I mean, he's alright, but...
The Rock smoked Billy.
I prefer Billy Ray over Road Dogg on the mic, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I like Road Dogg on the mic, but I think he is one-dimensional.
Anyway, they use the lead pipe, steel pipe, they defeat Team 3D. I guess the James gang could be getting a tag team shot. Maybe the James gang, Voodoo Kin Mafia, call them what you want. Is what it is. Pete Williams then won the World X Cup Gauntlet match. So we got a big gauntlet match in here, 20-minute gauntlet match. Basically, everybody that was in the World X Cup just got thrown into this. Pete Williams won with the Canadian Destroyer. 20-minute match here, just stuck between the last two matches. Why, I don't really know. Just weird, awkward placement. It was the second longest match of the night, and it did drag. I literally remember watching this, just wanting it to end.
This match shouldn't be lasting this long, man. It just shouldn't be. None of these guys should even be on the card. Look at them. I mean, Incognito. What's that?
It should have just been a battle royal. And you could have eliminated everybody relatively quickly.
Yeah, in TNA, right, see at this point, they've got too many good people to be wasting fucking like a third of the show on these guys when you factor in the other match.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the guys TNA have got but didn't use.
But don't worry, Big Sexy's here. Kevin Nash comes out and he Incognito. He makes fun of the guy and then he hits a couple of moves on him. Nash claims to be the king of the X Division. Just Kevin Nash looking like he's going through a midlife crisis at this point.
He definitely is going through a midlife crisis, but I tell you what, man, TNA's going through a bit of a midlife crisis at this point. Well, I don't know what they're doing with these X Division World Cup matches, but they need to throw them in the bin, and they need to throw them in the bin fast. And I don't think adding Kevin Nash, right, it intrigues me a bit more, but it doesn't change the fact you've got one guy that's good, and the rest of the guys that are not.
Don't change that fact, man. Then we go into Sting and Samoa Joe taking on Jarrett and Steiner. I mean, the match was alright.
Sting was never going to lose, and Samoa Joe was never going to lose his undefeated streak to Scott Steiner and Jeff Jarrett. I liked it. Could it have been longer? Potentially. But I think 15 minutes for this tag team match was fine. But I think it's time these four are going to do better things. I know Joe's just joined this feud, but I think Sting and Jarrett, they need to bury the hatchet, and if they are going to feud again, it needs to be for the world title for me.
There's just no stakes at the end of the day. Win, lose or draw, there's just nothing really up for grabs, and yeah, anyway, after the match, Joe left, Steiner and Jarrett beat down Sting. Joe considered coming back to help him, but he didn't, because I guess he's selfish, he's not a team player. But then all the jobbers ran out. I mean, there was some big guys in there as well, but mainly a bunch of jobbers. Jay Lethal and Cole ran out. They chased off Jeff Jarrett and Steiner, and it was them that came to the rescue of Sting rather than Samoa Joe. Then we go into the main event match, Christian Cage versus Abyss. Christian Cage cut a promo at the beginning of the match before he came out saying that basically he is the king of the TLC matches, but he said you can throw in chains there as well. You kind of got to throw in chains there so you don't get sued by WWE, but whatever. Longest match of the night. I mean, I thought it was a good match, but I don't think it was great. But it was good. I mean, it was alright. We got James Mitchell there getting his comeuppance. He got slammed into the attacks by Christian. I mean, Abyss, for a big guy that can't wrestle, is a good worker. I mean, I know that sounds a bit harsh, but
I mean, he can't wrestle.
I think he's a good worker for a big guy.
He can't wrestle. Put a bit of respect on him.
Well, he's not the greatest technical guy in the world, is he?
Doesn't need to be, though. That doesn't mean he's not a good wrestler.
I don't think he's going to be putting any Benoit Angle Royal Rumble matches on Classics, but you know
I just think it's incredible that Christian is pretty much buried Abyss. Like, a few matches now, back to back. Like, I like Christian, right? And I think he should have world title reigns, but I think Abyss should have won this, you know.
Well, he didn't. Christian won it. Christian is still the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. 26 minutes, hits a splash off the top of the ladder, then reclaimed his belt. So, yeah. Splash through off the ladder, through the table, taking out Abyss. Christian wins the match. Christian retains his championship. And Christian is still the champion of TNA.
Attendance 900 people.
Not great. Pretty sure the buy rates weren't great either, but it is what it is. May 14th.
Like the wallpaper for this show is the World Cup. That tells you all you need to know about the marketing in this company, man. It needs to be the main event or the tag team match with the main event like on top of it or something.
Nobody's tuning in for the sole purpose to see this X Division shit.
Like, look at it, man. I mean, I know you just can't see it, but I mean, you've just got a bunch of flags for fuck. What's that doing for anybody?
Half those teams weren't even.
Put it. No,
there's an Ireland flag. They weren't even in the World Cup.
Yo, but look at like the actual World Cup in football, right? They don't use flags. They use like the superstars from those nations.
Lionel Messi, you know what I mean?
Aye, Ronaldo. They're not going to fucking. I mean, come on. I mean, I guess the problem is here. I mean, who are you going to put on this? Who are you going to put on the front cover? Puma, Incognito. Shocker.
Yeah. Anyway, right, TNA Sacrifice. That's what I was going to go with. Look,
nothing overly bad, but nothing overly good. So
no, I mean, match of the night probably was America's Most Wanted versus AJ Styles and Daniels. Then I'd go with maybe Cage versus Abyss. I mean, after that, I'd probably go Sting and Joe versus Jarrett and Steiner. And then, believe it or not, after that, I'd go with Raven A1.
Yeah, I'd probably go with that as well. I mean, there was some alright backstage stuff throughout the night, but I think Jackie crying was fucking abysmal acting, man.
Oh, Jackie Gator's pregnant, and apparently she's fired, so yeah, we'll see.
Who's the father? Who knows? Who cares? But we'll be back with the, I believe, 17th of May edition of Impact.
Alright, 17th of May, we're back. TNA, cross the line.